But right now on the phone with me, I have Carl Groove Martin, formerly of the R&B group Shai. Groove, what is going on, my man?
What's up, Jarrell? How you doing, partner?
I'm fine, man. I appreciate you calling up and being on the time machine with me, my man.
Well, my pleasure, man. Appreciate you inviting me, bro.
It's no problem, man, because like we discussed in prior conversations, I've been a big fan of Shai and the If I Ever joint, man, so it's a pleasure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the love, certainly.
All right, now, first off, how did you get your start singing before Shai?
I started as a child. My mom is big into the gospel music, man, and she hit me with it at a very young age. Music has been a part of my life, as long as I can remember.
Okay, all right.
Started in the church choirs, and, started playing instruments and worked my way up from there.
Okay, now, how did Shai come about?
I started at Howard University in the mid-'90s.
Mm-hmm.
Three frat brothers from Howard.
Okay.
Got together, put together a group, added one more cat, and we started singing around local talent shows just on campus and whatnot.
Okay.
Open mics, and but we always sang original songs. That's one thing that's real important that always kind of gets left out. We mostly sang just originals, and people got familiar with them. And then it snowballed into If I Ever Fall in Love eventually. Okay,
now with If I Ever Fall in Love, now how did that song come about? Was there any inspiration behind it?
Yeah, you trying to get me in trouble, man.
Oh, no, man. I just just go ahead, man. I don't want you incriminating yourself, man. Come on now.
Nah, family. That was a girl in a class I had in my I had a U.S. history since 1877 class at Howard.
Uh-huh.
And there was a girl that sat next to me I was into, and she was going through a major breakup at the time, and I just kind of made up a little story about what it could be, if things worked out a little differently, and it works out. As a matter of fact, a little known thing is if you listen to the remix of If I Ever Fall in Love, right after I talk, before the first verse begins, I kind of quietly whisper her name.
I had played that earlier and I couldn't catch it. I was like, I'm like, what is he talking about? Subliminal message? Let me spin that back. Now, how did that song? Okay, now how did that song get played in the Maryland, D.C. area, and then it just blew up nationwide?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. We had a benefit softball game. Well, now I say we, but the radio station was having a benefit softball game, and it just happened to be in the apartment complex next door to where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So me being ambitious and whatnot, I was a scholarship baseball player, so I'm like, I can go in there and whoop them up a little bit and maybe try to get some attention to pass them my CD. So it worked out that way. We whooped them pretty good. I started talking to them afterward, and we really believed in the song, so I had a lot of confidence, and I told them they would like it. And so they by chance, a DJ named Paco played it, man, and I can't front. For the first week, it was us requesting the thing every day, us and our friends, just calling and requesting. And then we stopped requesting, but the requests kept coming, and then it just snowballed from there, man. It started getting played some 12, 15 times a day, and before you know it, we got a hit record, man.
Wow, I know y'all was getting attention around the campus, like, oh, they them dudes that sang that song on that radio station, you in my class, and all of that stuff right there. And now, are you surprised about the impact that the song has had on pop and R&B male groups?
Yeah, I am, honestly, man. Still to this day, you still hear it show up on American Idol, and people sing it. It's been re-recorded and sampled, and it was, a little Romeo song, My Cinderella, everywhere, man. I'm still shocked by it, yes, man. I still can't believe the impact that song has had on people, and here we are, many years later, and it's still going.
And for those of y'all that don't know, Backstreet Boys sang that song during their early years as a piece to R&B tracks. Also, a British boy group named E17 sort of did a little rendition of it with Gabrielle, and it was a big hit for them over in Europe.
They did, and much love today. As a matter of fact, I'm in Houston right now, and I got a lot of love today from Lil Flip.
Oh,
that was shocking, man. I was glad to hear that.
All right, shout out to everybody in H-Town. So, what was that process like making the If I Ever Fall in Love record? You guys had to follow up with a single that sort of had the same response to If I Ever?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What was the process like making the If I Ever Fall in Love record, knowing that that lead-off single was a smash hit out the gate, and it was a crossover hit?
Yeah, you know, honestly, it was a lot of pressure, Jarrell. You know, because you already have established a precedent with one song, and you know, in the way, like I described, the way it happened so fast that we didn't really have time to really give a lot of thought into making a record. But luckily for us, like I said, when we practice every day. That's one important thing I should mention, is that we practice every day at 4 o'clock. No matter what was going on in anybody's lives, we made sure to practice. And like I said, we always practiced originals. Mm-hmm. So even though we didn't have anything recorded, we had enough songs that we knew already to put an album down. So we flew out to L.A., we did the remix in D.C., and then we flew out to L.A., and we knocked the album out probably, I was saying, about 4 weeks.
Wow. And one of my...
and just kept rolling, man. We did it while we were kind of still touring, you know?
Wow. And one of my favorite cuts off of the debut record was the Together Forever song.
Yeah.
Beautiful ballad.
Yeah. Mark wrote that. Mark Gay, one of our founder members, a great piano player, great songwriter. I believe that's still a popular song at weddings, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. And now, what was the process like going through that follow-up record?
That was crazy. You know, that was, funny, it was a completely different process, because when you're just 4 cats coming out of college, you know, you're basically trying to figure out how you're going to pay rent and eat and go to the movies and at the same time, in the same month.
Right.
And then to go from basically being out of school and still kind of having the student mentality to all of a sudden, you know, having an album and the album doing well, and then, you know, there being a lot of anticipation to follow up in a certain way. It was different. You had record company people and everyone who had an opinion. So that's basically the big difference, was you had about 10,000 more opinions to deal with on the follow-up. And it was definitely a different process. And I think, honestly, if I'm being straight with you, that I think the process suffered. I think the process suffered because we had to deal with so many opinions at the same time.
Right. And now, can you tell me a little bit about the blackface period?
The blackface period, you know, that's funny, because that was never, I was like, I always thought it was a strange name for an album, first of all. Honestly, I'm just being straight with you.
Okay.
And, but I do like the way it turned out. I think there's some good songs on that record. That period was strange. You know, musically, we wanted to go in different directions. I started producing for other artists. I was kind of getting more into sort of, you know, hip-hop based music, and because I kind of felt like that's where R&B is going, which I think it kind of did. Mm-hmm. And the group was interested in kind of more different directions. So that was the point where, actually, toward the end of the completion of that album, I pretty much decided that I was going to start going my own way. So,
okay, so
it was a little strange, but I think we came up with good records.
Right.
The Place Where You Belong came out of that process, and that's still one of my favorite Shai records.
And that record was on the Beverly Hills Cop 3 soundtrack, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was going to lead me to my next question. That was a mutual agreement that you was going to go solo after Blackface? It wasn't no tension or nothing like that, right?
You know, I never even planned on going solo. I said, right now, I'm only actually doing a solo record for the first time. Mm-hmm. My plan was just to go on and start producing and writing for other people.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what I did. Now it's only the first time, actually, I'm even interested in